This stuff lights your fireman, the pilot lights out.
This football team is coming into our place. We're standing in our way.
This is a game of the heart. Focus and finish.
It's week 15, and hopefully you're in your fantasy football playoffs. To those of you that have made it, congratulations. If you haven't, or even if you have, head on over to Star Fantasy Leagues. You can find them at starfantasyleagues.com, and if you open up a new account and enter the promo code RADIO, R-A-D-I-O, they'll match your initial deposit up to $500. So go give them a shot and test your skill against others. Daily fantasy games are all the rage because you can choose a new roster for each event, and you never have to worry about being shut out on that must-have player you always want. You can get anyone you want, really, but then the skill comes in when you try to fit them under your team's salary cap. You can play head-to-head against someone, or in a pool where a laundry list of top finishers get paid. And there's nothing better than the immediate payoff it provides when you win and see the funds deposited into your account. Alright, so you've got injuries. You've got underperformers. You need waiver wire help. Do not fear. Underdog is here. Or something like that. Tom Brady isn't going to stop throwing the ball with Rob Gronkowski on the shelf, and he has to throw to someone. Now, we know Shane Vereen is going to get his touches, and I expect Julian Edelman to pick up much of the slack. Think back to week 2 when the Patriots were trying to generate some offense against the Jets, and Brady had a receiving core of Edelman and a group of guys he didn't even know. Edelman had 13 receptions that day. Edelman has proved to be a huge safety valve for Brady, getting 32 targets the last 3 games, converting 24 of those targets into catches for 275 yards. He's not widely owned. If you're in a PPR league, go get Edelman. All right, now consider this one a gift. If you're looking to replace Gronk, Dennis Pitta is unquestionably the best available option likely to be on your waiver wire. After what initially looked like a season-ending surgery, Pitta returned just in time for your playoffs. In his first game back, Pitta co-led the Ravens with 11 targets, and he converted 6 for catches for 48 yards and a touchdown. Expect Pitta to be immediately fully integrated into the Ravens offense, as he's one of Joe Flacco's favorite targets, so we should see plenty of passes thrown his way in coming weeks. Delaney Walker is another great Gronk replacement option this week. He should be back from concussion and ready to go against the Cardinals, who, if you've been following along, can't cover a tight end. Walker is Ryan Fitzpatrick's favorite target, who was targeted 27 times with 19 receptions for 199 yards and 2 touchdowns the 2 games before getting dinged on the head. Expect more of the same against Arizona. Adrian Peterson won't play this week, and I would not at all hesitate to use Toby Gerhart if you're looking for running back help. Now, don't be dismayed about reports that he tweaked his hamstring, because there isn't anything that's going to keep him from auditioning for a full-time job in someone's backfield for next year. Now, over the past 4 seasons, he's proved to be very effective when given the opportunity both in the running game and the passing game, and with starting defenses dragging at this time of year, Gerhart's limited mileage gives him an advantage. I would have no reservations whatsoever about using him as an RB2 in fantasy football playoffs. Michael Crabtree has now logged 2 games since coming back from injury, and he's no longer on a snap count. This is his 3rd full week back at practice, and he and Colin Kaepernick are bound to get their groove back. The 49ers play the Bucs this week, who have allowed 9 receiver touchdowns in the last 6 games. And I think Crabtree is a great flex option this week with huge upside. Today's Twitter question comes from @DaveBrazil, who wants to know if there's a sleeper out there that may pay off in the final few weeks. Why, yes there is. The Colts finally let Derrick Rogers play last week, and voila! He came up with 6 catches for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. How about that? He played on over 68% of the snaps last week, and you can look for him to get even more time going forward at the expense of Darius Haywood-Bay, who's awful. Now, if you've got a question you want answered, hit me up with a tweet, and if I don't use your question on the program, I'll tweet you back with my best advice. And be sure to tune in to the Roto Experts Fantasy Football News Notes and Analysis segment every weekday. I'll be here to keep you current and ahead of the competition, and on weekends, come back for This Week in Fantasy Football, as I team up with the King, Scott Engel, covering the week that was and the week that will be, answering your viewer questions. For Roto Experts, I'm Mike Cardano. See you tomorrow, everyone.